everyone, I'm Simon Boxall in for Donna Bush with your government news brief here on CIG-TV on this Thursday, the 6th of April. Thanks for being here. The newly established National Sports Commission met for the first time on Monday, April 3rd, since being appointed by Cabinet. The 11-member commission consists of persons from both the public and private sectors with various athletic backgrounds. The Commission will be focusing on a number of deliverables, including the development and implementation of the National Sports Policy. You can learn more about the National Sports Commission by logging on to gov.ky/news. As we approach the Easter weekend, the RCIPS would like to remind the public of some steps they can take to have a safe and enjoyable weekend while reducing their chances of becoming a victim of crime. During the holiday period, many residents across the Cayman Islands will engage in camping activities or will be traveling overseas. Because of this, incidents of burglaries usually increase during this time of year, as burglars may take advantage of homes while they are vacant. With this in mind, we're advising the public to consider the tips below and implement as many as possible before leaving your homes. So here they are. Before leaving to travel or to go camping, make an inventory of your valuables, including recording serial numbers of your electronics and taking pictures of your jewelry and storing them on your phone and in your email as a backup. Be sure to properly lock and secure your premises before going camping or traveling. Be sure to leave lights on inside and outside the property. If you have light timers, it's best to have these set up while you're away. Consider storing valuable items within interior rooms in the residence and locking these doors. This will make it harder for would-be thieves to get access to your valuable possessions. Clear away shrubbery, tools, and other such items from your yard so as not to provide burglars with tools they can use to gain entry or conceal themselves from detection. If you have neighbors who will not be camping or traveling, consider asking them to keep an eye on your property for you. Alternatively, have someone you trust check on your property while you're away and unable to do so yourself. Consider leaving the campsite occasionally and making checks on your property. If you have windows and door shutters, put these up while you're away. Consider implementing alarms and camera systems if you're able, especially those that can be monitored from your mobile phones and alert you immediately. While you're at the campsites, there are also a few tips for you to consider. Be sure to secure your belongings when camping. Remain vigilant of your valuables at all times. Park vehicles in well-lit and monitored areas and check on your vehicles regularly. Try not to leave valuables in your vehicles, especially not where they can be seen from the outside. As camping does come with some risk, pay very close attention to children for their safety, especially around fires and in the water. Ensure young children wear proper flotation devices and are under constant adult supervision. Try to ensure there are persons within your campsite who are up to date with CPR, first aid, and first aid training, and that there is a first aid kit on site. Use the buddy system and ensure that someone knows where you are at all times. While camping, it's also important to follow all relevant laws and not trespass on private property. However, owners of waterfront property should also remember that their beachside property boundaries do not extend past the high water mark, and that the public is permitted to access the beach up to that point, in accordance with the Land Survey Regulations 2018 revision, Section 28, and the Development and Planning Regulations 2022 revision, Section 8, Part 10. Ensure that you keep your mobile phones charged and in good condition at all times so that in the event of an emergency, you're able to call for help. Identify a responsible person or persons at each campsite to take the lead on any incidents that may occur. Any animals taken to the campsite must be properly tethered so as not to pose a risk annoyance to others. Ensure that your campsites are acting in accordance with the Town and Communities Act. This includes no loud music or noise which may cause a nuisance to homeowners and other members of the public. Ensure that you obey the national conservation laws, observing seasonal marine life closures and catch limits. Ensure that you obey the Port Authority law as it relates to boating, especially when you're navigating close to the shoreline and near campsites where persons may be in the water. Remember that littering is against the law. Ensure that you clean up the campsites and beaches before leaving your designated areas. When traveling on roadways, the public should also consider the following. Remember that the DUI limit has now been reduced to 0.07. So be sure not to drink and drive. Be sure not to exceed the speed limit and reduce your speeds if the weather is poor. Give 100% of your attention to driving and be on the lookout for cyclists and pedestrians. Cyclists are reminded to travel with the flow of traffic and operate as a vehicle would. Drive with courtesy, but also drive defensively. Superintendent Brad Ebanks states our community officers will be making regular visits to campsites and speaking with campers to encourage safety and at the same time ensuring that the peace is being kept. Our traffic officers will be showing a heightened presence on our roadways to encourage good driving behavior, with a particular focus on discouraging DUI and speeding. We also remind the public that the level of alcohol has been lowered to 0.07. He further went on to say there will also be increased patrols in residential areas. And we're asking for the public's assistance to help us keep you safe by heeding the safety tips provided as much as possible. On behalf of the RCIPS, I would like to wish everyone a safe and happy Easter, he said. Stay tuned to our social media pages and our website for these and other information during the Easter holidays. Turning now to our local forecast, moderate winds and seas are expected for the next 24 hours in association with a ridge of high pressure extending from the Atlantic Ocean across the Gulf of Mexico. Satellite images show scattered low-level clouds in and around the Cayman area. Tonight, there will be fair to partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall to the mid-70s and winds will be east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Remember, you can get more details on our local weather conditions online at weather.gov.ky or check out the Weather Services Facebook page. And that ends today's news brief here on CIG Television. I'm Simon Bogsall in for Donna Bush, wishing you all a very happy Easter.
The Esterly-Tibbetts Highway 3-lane roundabout is ready for drivers. It's time to make sure you know how to use it. First, know which exit you need to take. Pay attention to lane arrows and signs. Make sure you use your signal to change lanes or exit the roundabout. To turn left, you always approach in the left-hand lane and indicate left. To drive straight ahead, you need to be looking out for signs and road markings indicating which lane to use. Get in one of the lanes marked with a straight-through arrow. If turning right, you must use the right-hand lane and indicate accordingly. To use the roundabout safely, remember these 3 tips. Know your exit, pick your lane, and signal to make your turn. The Esterly-Tibbetts Highway 3-lane roundabout is ready for drivers. It's time to make sure you know how to use it. First, know which exit you need to take. Pay attention to lane arrows and signs. Make sure you use your signal to change lanes or exit the roundabout. To turn left, you always approach in the left-hand lane and indicate left. To drive straight ahead, you need to be looking out for signs and road markings indicating which lane to use. Get in one of the lanes marked with a straight-through arrow. If turning right, you must use the right-hand lane and indicate accordingly. To use the roundabout safely, remember these 3 tips. Know your exit, pick your lane, and signal to make your turn.